Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our BCB 101, the January 2022 Lunch and Learn meeting for the Bluegrass Council of the Blind. I am Theresa Thomas, and I'm very excited to get started. We are recording this and we'll have this available on our YouTube page. If you all need the link to our YouTube channel, please just message me, ask by the end of the recording. At this point, if everybody that are everyone that is able to go ahead and mute yourself, *6 on the phone or mute on the computers. I am very excited to start this BCB 101, as Susan mentioned before we started the recording. We're going to have, this is kind of a full length video for the next 30 minutes or so. We're going to be talking about the basics of Bluegrass Council of the Blind and what we have coming up for January of 2022 throughout the rest of this year. And moving forward, we're going to be recording a few other short videos, hopefully more like 10 minutes each, just kind of featuring different aspects about the council, what we do. We're going to be talking to our different employees and what they do, and just kind of give everybody the opportunity to view some videos about the organization, how it operates, and kind of how the processes work. So for today, I am going to give an overview, which is going to cover our two main programs, the services that are included under each of those. And we're going to be talking about some of our initiatives and the new types of services that we have in the works for 2022. I want to thank Susan Ament, one, for joining us back on staff this year. We are so excited to have Dr. Ament back with us as the Peer Support Program Manager. And I also want to thank her for working very diligently this month at assisting people with being able to access our meetings by Zoom. I know we've had some attendance degrade because of the challenges with technology, and she reached out individually to many people and talked them through the ways to access. And I also want to thank Marty Smith, one of our new board members, who's also gotten very creative and assisted several people with joining the meetings too. So thanks to you guys. This Lunch and Learn is the first item on the agenda for the Bluegrass Council of the Blind. One of our main services under the Peer Support Program would be the Lunch and Learn. I'll name all the different services and then we'll kind of touch on each one of them. The Peer Support Program is the first program we're going to discuss. Under that, we have Lunch and Learn support group meetings. We have small group mentoring, food distribution, membership, community outings, intake, information, and referral. I knew I was missing one. So the Lunch and Learn meetings are usually here in our office if the pandemic is not preventing it. And we offer lunch and a short program, usually 30 to 45 minutes following lunch, and the social opportunity to connect with each other, connect with others who are either facing the challenge of vision loss, or families and caregivers are also invited and welcome to join. It gives people the opportunity to talk about some of their successes, their challenges, and just get to know other people that are facing some of the things that they're challenged with. The presentation usually is arranged to be something that is of interest to people with vision loss. Maybe it's resources, maybe it's tools for living with low vision, or community partners that we're working with that have things to offer for the people that we serve at Bluegrass Council of the Blind. The second one I will touch on is the small mentoring small groups. And that's where we offer two different meetings at this time. One is on an afternoon meeting and one is an evening meeting. Currently, all of our meetings are being done by Zoom, and we are so grateful for all of you for joining us and facing that challenge and getting on here. We know the social aspect of it is often a bit more challenging using a virtual platform. But after the meeting is over, we'll give everybody the opportunity to unmute and talk to each other and kind of share that social aspect on this call, as well as the mentoring small groups. The mentoring small group is open to anyone with a vision impairment or their family members and or significant others. And that is a smaller group setting where people are given more of an intimate setting to be able to share more personal things. It does require an application process, which includes a confidentiality agreement. You have to agree to keep the information shared there confidential due to the nature of the information that's shared. The membership, we're an affiliate of the American Council of the Blind. Being a member of the council allows you to vote at our membership meetings, and the board of directors takes direction from the membership, and the board of directors makes the decisions for the direction of the organization. So we rely on our members to be active and be participating in the membership and be a part of the direction of the organization. Intake, information, and referral also falls under the peer support program. Many of us that answer the phones give out information and referrals via the phone. We also do it via email or in-person appointments, whether it be an intake appointment or it just could possibly be someone that's here for a different meeting and they need some information. They might need a brochure or a phone number. We're here for that too. So anything that's related to vision impairments, or maybe there's some information you need that's not necessarily related to vision impairment, but you're struggling with finding that information because of your vision impairment, we're here to help you as much as we can. Food distribution is usually following the peer support meetings when we're in person. When it's virtual, those are to be held the day after. So our food distribution for this month will be tomorrow. And some of the other BCB 101 videos will get into each of these more in depth, but we do have a procedure for that. We would ask that people call in and leave a voicemail message on our food distribution extension, which is extension 1. So you can call our number 859-259-1834 and press 1, and you will get a recording. And following that recording, if you would leave your name and your phone number and your address and let us know you'd like to participate in food distribution, we will deliver to those that live in the Fayette County area. It is open to people outside of Fayette County, but they would need to schedule for someone to pick that up here in our office because we do not have the opportunity to distribute outside the county. So I did want to let everyone know that it is available to anyone in Kentucky, but you would just need for you to pick it up or have someone pick it up. The second program that we offer is the Assistive Technology and Training Program. And again, we are excited to have Sam Seavey on board with us as the program manager for Assistive Technology and Training. And under this program, we have hands-on trials, demonstrations, and hands-on trials of technology devices for living with low vision. That could be everything from low tech, like bump dots or a signature guide, all the way up to high-tech devices, which could be wearable assistive devices, magnification, digital handheld magnifiers, or even devices that will capture text and read it to you. So we have many devices here in the office that are available for people to try out to see if it works for them, because as many people with vision impairments already know, that many times what works for one person doesn't always work for the next person. And the best way to really figure out what works for you is to schedule an appointment to come in and try out these devices and really see personally if that's going to be the solution for your challenges. We also provide technology lending and technology distribution when available. We try to make available as many as we can devices that we can either have on short-term lending, long-term lending, or distribution. A short-term loan might be something that you would take home for up to 3 months and try it out in your own home, in your own setting, to make sure that's something that's going to work for you in your environment. After 3 months, if it is working for you and you'd like to extend that loan, the individual is able to give us a call and ask for an extension. As long as there's no one on a wait list to also try one of those devices, Sam would be able to extend that loan. The extensions for those are at a maximum of 1 year. After that, we would need you to return it to BCB. Those are typically the devices that are hard for us to get our hands on. So they're limited. Usually they're items that are more costly. So it's harder for us to have those available for any type of long-term or distribution. So the short-term lending, maximum of 1 year, and that would require a procedure of basically an intake and an assessment by Sam or one of our staff members to make sure that that's something that is appropriate for your situation and needs. And we go through that process of the lending forms and getting that all completed. We have something called an extended lending, and these are some items that we get through grants that are usually they're more expensive items, but they're things that people would want to keep for an extended period of time. Those types of devices like the iPad mini or the iPod touch. Sometimes there may be other devices that could be on a extended lending. And the definition of that would be you're able to keep it as long as it's working for you and as long as you're needing it, but it is not something that belongs to you. It still belongs to the Bluegrass Council of the Blind. And if at any point you're no longer using it or it's not working for you, then you would need to return it to the Bluegrass Council of the Blind so we could distribute that to another individual in need. Our distribution program are it's typically for those people that are in a financial situation of not being able to purchase something. It's not all based on financial need. But it's typically some of the lower cost devices, maybe bump dots, 2020 pens, large print calendars. And then there are some items that we purchase through grants that might be a little more expensive, like a talking glucose monitor, talking blood pressure monitor. These are devices that we are able to distribute to you to keep. Again, even though the things are distributed to you, if it's something that can be used by someone else and you're no longer using it, we do ask that you would consider donating it back to us. But in general, these are items that you can keep as long as you need them. Under the Assistive Technology and Training Program, we also have group training sessions and individual training sessions. The group ones Sam usually does, I think it's on the, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, the third Thursday of each month at 1 p.m. And he has different topics. And again, when we're able, we will have those in person here at the BCB office. Otherwise, they will be on Zoom. And that's open to anyone that's interested in the topic. And we publish all of these topics in our newsletter that comes out on the 1st and the 15th of each month. Also falling under this category is the training. So people that may already have had an intake or have been involved with the council for a while might decide that there's something that they need training on, something they need help with, maybe a new device that they've recently gotten, or maybe it's something that they're considering getting and they would like to try out the ones we have at the office or get some additional training, maybe some iPhone training using voiceover, using magnification or Zoom. The process for that is to contact Sam and to schedule an appointment for that and give as much detail ahead of time so he can be prepared what it is, what type of training you're looking for, or what kind of demonstrations you're looking for, and schedule that with Sam. We are also very blessed to have an additional staff member, our information technology and security manager. I have to get these titles correct here. Richard Sizemore manages all of our information technology, computers, and our cybersecurity. He is also now certified as a JAWS trainer and a Zoom text trainer, and is very familiar with the Windows, all of the different Windows accessibility options like narrator and magnifier. So if you are interested in any of those types of training, you are able to contact Sam or contact Richard directly and ask about getting an appointment set up for those. Now, if you all want to ask any questions on that part, that kind of summarizes everything that we have been offering and are still currently offering. And I'll open it up for some questions, and then we'll get into some of the new things that we have going on and some of the things we'd like to do coming up this year. Any questions?
I got one.
Yeah, Marty, go ahead.
What's going to be in the next food distribution?
What's going to be in the next food distribution? Okay, that comes out tomorrow. That's a good question. I don't have the answer to that right now, but I can tell you how to find out. We will have a recording, and that will probably go up this afternoon or first thing in the morning tomorrow. The reason that is because we are still receiving items for the distribution. So we put it up once we know we have everything in the office. But if people want to know what's in the distribution, we have, you can call our office, again, the 859-259-1834 number. You'll get the automated assistant that answers the phone. And if you would press 1, there should be a recording with a list of the items that are included. If there's any need to identify, we are going to try to go ahead and do that ahead of time. So let's say there would be a can of green beans in this distribution and also a can of chicken noodle soup. On the recording, we would let you know the smaller can is the chicken noodle soup and the larger cans are green beans. If there was something that might have a little bit more complex cooking instructions or something people might not be familiar with, let's say we have a skillet meal, it's a tuna skillet meal. We would also put on there at the end of the recording a kind of a summary of those cooking instructions. And so people are able to identify what they have in their groceries that are delivered and also some of the basic directions. And if at any given point you are still not familiar with what you have and you want to investigate that further, please don't hesitate to call our office and speak with one of the staff members. You can press 0 just to kind of identify or explain our automated system. When you dial in, you'll get the automated system. From that point, if you press 0, there is a call queue, and that will ring for everybody that is logged in. So you'll get all of the office phones, plus anybody that's working remotely and is logged into the system will be able to answer the phones also. If you want to speak with a person directly, let's say you want to call Susan Ament and RSVP for an event, a peer support event, or you want to speak with Sam directly to RSVP for a technology seminar or schedule with him, each person does have their own extension. So you would press at the end of the recording, it'll say press 1 for food distribution, press 2 for Sam Seavey, press 3 for Theresa Thomas. So if you listen to that, you can press and select the extension directly to the individual that you're trying to reach. I don't know that everybody has really listened all the way through to the end of the recording, but it really helps us if you have a question for me specifically. It's better to just go ahead and press 3 and it'll ring directly to me wherever I'm at. And if I'm not available to answer, it will go to my voicemail. And that way I will be certain to get that message, and the same for everyone else. If you have a question specifically for Susan, go ahead and select 6 and it will go directly to Susan. Her office hours, this is something that's new. Susan will be working in the office on Wednesdays from 9 to 4. We do have our staff meeting 9 a.m. every Wednesday. So if you're trying to reach us between 9 and 10 days, we're not going to be answering the phone. Please leave a message and we'll return your call after our staff meeting. But Susan's office hours are from 9 to 4 on Wednesdays, and she'll be working remotely on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 2. Same in the office on Tuesdays and Thursdays typically. Occasionally he may have to change his schedule because of traveling, but his regular office hours are 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. Tuesday, Thursday. I'm logged in and answering calls pretty much 24/7. If you need to reach me, you can dial my extension, which is extension 3, and I will try to answer pretty much anytime if it's during office hours, or sometimes I'm able to answer on Fridays. The office is open Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4. And the rest of the staff, David and Bree and Susan McDaniel, they are here various days of the week, and you'll often be able to talk to them if you call between 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. And Richard is doing remote hours during the day and office hours on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 5 to 8 p.m. Any other
What did you
questions?
say what'd you say the staff time meeting was? What, 9
The
to what?
staff meetings
12?
are Wednesday from 9 to 10 a.m.
10, okay. I couldn't, you broke up on me on that one, so I didn't know what you said.
Yeah. 9 to 10. And
Gotcha.
sometimes we go a little over, but not usually. We've gotten pretty good at keeping it. We don't usually go more than 10 minutes over.
Good to know.
This is Michael Jones. I have a question.
Yeah, Michael.
My question is in 2 parts.
Mm-hmm.
The first part is, what was the name of the individual who is doing the training for how to use JAWS?
Sure. That's Richard Sizemore.
Richard Sizemore. I'm not familiar with him. Is he a new staff member?
No, actually, when Sam resigned from his position back 3 years ago or so here, Richard came on board as our assistive technology and training coordinator. And then
I remember Sam Seavey, but I'm not familiar with
Richard. Yeah, Richard did.
I don't think I've ever had much interaction with Richard since he took over for Sam. Yeah.
Well, now with Sam being back on board, Richard's talents, he has a really great grasp and training on computers and cybersecurity and websites. And so he became our IT manager and cybersecurity, kind of jack of all trades, but he is also still has quite a bit of experience and training in computer accessibility and smartphones and tablets and things like that. So he helps out Sam with technology when he's available, but he primarily focuses on managing our technology needs here in the office, as well as training and teaching JAWS and Zoom text and other types of accessibility features.
Oh, okay.
I'm here if anybody has any
my-
questions for me directly. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, Richard's on here, so if you had
yeah.
any questions for him directly, you can ask that too.
Hi, I'm Richard.
Okay, well, hello, Richard. This is Michael Jones.
Nice to meet you, Michael.
The second part of my question is that I am very interested in learning how to use JAWS. I have a laptop that has JAWS programmed onto it, but I have no clue how to use it. I have zero vision. The training that you provide to use JAWS, is it done in office at the Council of the Blind? Is it done at another location, or is it by appointment?
Well, we have a couple of things. First of all, I would ask, are you a client of the Offices for Voc Rehabilitation Blind Services? And if you are, I would urge you to reach out to them and have you referred to us by them. That would help us out if you could do that. But to more directly answer your question, we can do either. It kind of depends on your physical location. If you're located within Fayette County and you can make your way to the offices and you are fully vaccinated, we can make arrangements to meet in person. If you could meet in the evenings, it would be best for me. Okay. Also, though, if you can't meet in person or you're not fully vaccinated, we can set up doing it virtually or over the phone. Either by Zoom or by phone.
Okay. Well, I am here in Fayette County. Now, when it comes to Voc Rehab, that is a touchy subject. I am.
Well, we are being recorded here, so we might save that conversation for offline, just so we don't expose any confidential information.
If you would like to stick around after the, meeting has been stopped recording, I'm sure we would be happy to help you in any way that we can.
Okay.
And that was a great question. Go ahead, Michael.
Yeah, I was just saying because I'm very interested in learning how to use JAWS.
That is a great segue or transition into my first announcement about new things that we have going on. We are now officially a vendor for the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation. And what that means is that when the Office of Vocational Rehabilitation Division of Blind Services has a client of theirs that needs training on Zoom text or JAWS or other computer needs or assistive technology needs, maybe it's a tablet, training on any type of technology, they would normally refer people to the McDowell Center in Louisville. Unfortunately, they're not able to do in-person meetings right now for people. And they have a shortage of AT trainers at the center. So they were looking for they could hire, and we have been approved. So we are working with them. Now, you don't have to have an open case with Division of Blind Services for us to work with you, but it definitely helps for many reasons. One being when you're working with OVR and a counselor, they would help with getting a little bit more specific in what type of training you're looking for. And they would also be able to pay Bluegrass Council of the Blind to provide those services for you. And it's a little bit more, they share their training modules with us to use. Therefore, going through OVR gives you just a little bit more of a supported and I don't know what word I'm looking for, but a little bit more organized curriculum. And
Okay.
It would not only help us, but help you as well. And we can talk about that a little bit more outside of this. But we are excited because this is a new revenue stream for the Bluegrass Council of the Blind.
Okay.
The amount they're paying us to do this definitely isn't going to, create any new jobs at the moment, or, make us rich. But it is a little bit to help towards the overhead cost for us to provide those services. And if we can, in the future, continue this partnership and increase the number of referrals that we have, it could potentially lead to hiring more people for training in those areas. So we are excited of the possibilities of this new partnership, but becoming a vendor with OVR is going to open some new doors for us and our partnerships, and hopefully really help better meet the needs of the Kentuckians that have vision impairments. As Richard said, he usually has evening hours for in-person.
Okay.
And then during the daytime, he can do Zoom training classes. And we would love to be able to increase his OVR caseloads enough to where we could potentially hire him on full time. So the more people go through OVR and get set up to get that training in an organized manner through OVR and allow us to bill for that, the more likely we are to be able to increase the amount of services that we can offer.
Theresa,
Since
this
you
is
mentioned
another.
billing, it.
Okay,
mentioned
Michael,
billing.
go ahead and then we'll go to Lynn. But Michael, what were you saying?
Since you mentioned billing, it sounds like Richard is a subcontractor for Voc Rehab.
It does sound like
Bluegrass
it,
Council of the Blind is a subcontractor, not Richard individually, because any of us at the council.
Richard isn't is subcontracting through Voc Rehab. Bluegrass Council of the Blind is subcontracting through Voc Rehab.
Right, exactly.
So I got it backwards. Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Any of our staff can provide the training and bill. He is certified in those areas. Sam is also able to bill, and I can actually even work with people on iOS devices and do training, technology training on those. And we're even working with Office of Voc Rehab, not only through the vocational side of it, but if you're working with Jenny Ward or any of the independent living counselors, let's say you're not wanting to go back to work, you're not with a vocational counselor, but I'm just making up a case. Let's say Jane Doe is 70 years old. She has an iPhone. She's losing her sight to the point where she can't see it anymore, and she wants to learn how to use voiceover on that iPhone. We can provide those services, and it can be something that is billable if her IL counselor would refer her to us for that training. They would approve X number of hours, whatever they will conduct an assessment and determine how much training that individual needs and refer to us, and we can provide that training and make that billable to the independent living program with the Office of Voc Rehab.
Oh, okay, I understand.
Great. And Len, you want to add a comment or a question?
Well, I think it's going to be a good segue for us to build up our membership too, to see what we can do. I think it's great because they have been so understaffed, and I don't think everybody realized you're talking about the Lexington office, aren't you?
The entire state of Kentucky.
The entire state.
We are getting
Okay.
referrals from all over the state.
Right. Is Andre not there now?
Andre is still there,
Okay.
but the
I
way
can't never
that
get a hold of
their
him.
department is divided, he is not under blind services. He is a field service, which is under vocational rehabilitation and not specific to blind services. So he and the other field service representatives that do technology are not specific to blindness. So
Okay.
I don't know how many there are, but for all that there are, they are not specific to blindness. So he's doing blindness, but he's also doing people that have other physical challenges and need technology solutions. So he's more of a determine what you need and get you the devices. He's not a trainer. McDowell Center provides the training.
Right. I'm with you.
Okay.
One other question, Theresa, real quick. On the food, is there a particular food that you want to give out that maybe some of us could help with or buy for you or for the Bluegrass to give out? Is there some high energy food or certain things you would really like?
That's a good question. And I would probably have to talk with you back channel on that, but
Okay.
probably more of the fresh produce and staple items like eggs, milk, produce, fruits, vegetables. Those are things that are difficult to get, or meat products that are fresh. But I can go into more in depth with you back
Okay.
channel.
I'm
But thank
with you.
we're running out of time here, so I'm going to touch base on a few other things that are new. Let me take a look. Okay, so orientation and mobility clinic. We are partnering with the University of Kentucky Teachers of the Visually Impaired program, which now offers a certification in orientation and mobility. And forgive me if I'm not getting all of that exactly right, but basically the university is providing a master's program for people to become certified orientation and mobility specialists. And in doing so, their students have so many practicum hours or internship hours that they have to complete before they can become certified. It's very difficult for them to get those hours here in Lexington or even in the state of Kentucky due to the shortage of O&M specialists, because they have to get those hours working with a certified O&M specialist. As identified by the Office of Voc Rehab when they did their needs assessment for blind and visually impaired, one of the greatest needs in the state of Kentucky, as reported by individuals with a vision impairment, is the need for orientation and mobility training. And O&M, or orientation and mobility, refers to being able to navigate your environment, whether it be just getting around your house, figuring out a safe way to navigate and set your home up to where you can navigate and find things, to being able to go to your mailbox and get your mail, or if you're in an apartment, get to the mail room or the laundry room of your apartment, or if it's getting out and traveling, walking, or using the bus to navigate to other places within your community, or even if you want to fly, being able to figure out how to navigate airports and planes, and any type of orientation training so you are more mobile would be covered under the orientation and mobility instruction. So since there's such a need for people to get the training, and the university needs their students to get training under certified orientation and mobility specialists, we put together the clinic that provides a variety of workshops here in Lexington and across the state, where the students from the O&M program would be able to work with individuals who need this instruction and get a little extra instruction from the students in the program while they are working under the supervision of a certified O&M. So it's kind of killing two birds with one stone. Two problems that we're facing, we're working together to get extra training for individuals that need it and get extra practical work hours for the students that need to get that training so they can get certified. We completed one of those. We had 16 people in attendance, and that was on July 31st here in Lexington. It was very successful. The feedback we got was very positive. We are going to plan another for February 19th and 20th in Louisville, Kentucky at the School for the Blind, which is another partner. We're partnering with the University of Kentucky, the Kentucky School for the Blind, and the Kentucky Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, Division of Blind Services. Our role, Bluegrass Council of the Blind, our role in this is primarily the administrative side of it to help with securing locations, helping with recruiting. Our biggest part is recruiting people who need the orientation and mobility training and notifying them of when we will be having these and getting them the information so they can attend and get the training that they'd like to have and need, and managing the administrative side. So we're also looking for grants to help pay for these, provide, when possible, provide transportation to and from those, if people have to come from out of the county, and also providing lunches and any other overhead costs that are involved. So that's one of the new things that we have going on. Our newsletter on February 1st will have information about the next 4. We have 2 in Louisville, one on the 19th and one on the 20th of February. We will have one in Danville, Kentucky on Saturday, the 26th of March, and one in Fayette County at the University of Kentucky, again on March 27th. So if you are interested or you know anyone that's interested in some basic orientation and mobility instruction, will be focused on assessments. So that's really for people that are new to orientation and mobility for the most part. But the others in Danville and Lexington could be either focused on assessments if you've never had training and you need an assessment to see where you're at, or new or basic, you've not had much in the way, or it's been a while since you've had orientation and mobility training. Those would be for you, the ones in March. Any questions on that or comments?
Teresa, before we get to questions, I have a couple of people I need to finish taking attendance before we run out of time. There's a Theresa on here in addition to Theresa Thomas, and it's not spelled with an H. And if you could tell me who you are.
Theresa Eskew, maybe?
Yeah, is that Theresa Eskew? If you could just tell me if that's Theresa Eskew. And also there's someone labeled guest, and there's no telephone number with that anymore. So I don't know who that is. Did someone come in late on a telephone? If you could just let me know.
Yes, this is Jerry Mattingly.
Wonderful, Jerry. Congratulations for getting on. Okay.
Thanks for joining.
Yeah, I finally got through after several attempts, but that was my fault. I misunderstood everything and this, that, and other, but no, I'm here.
Thanks
Okay,
I made it.
Thanks for keeping up trying until you got through. We appreciate that.
Okay.
Yes, I kept trying. When is the next meeting?
The next meeting, that would be a mentoring small groups meeting, and that would be in February. I don't have that date right in front of me.
That's okay.
It will be coming out in the newsletter if you're
Right.
signed up for the newsletter, or we can call you.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's the 9th, February 9th.
February the 9th.
Yeah,
At
Yeah.
1 p.m.
1 o'clock.
I think I got a doctor's appointment on the 9th. I got so many appointments scheduled for February, and it's confusing, but I'll have to call you guys and make sure, but I'm pretty sure I got one on the 9th, all through February at various times, but, I'll give you guys a call and make sure, that I can make arrangements to participate in this.
Great.
That's good. Okay, welcome. All right, go ahead, Theresa.
Okay, I'm going to try to touch base on these others really quick because we're running out of time here. One of the other new things that we are working on, it's somewhat new, is our Silver initiative. We have mentioned this in the past. It's our seniors impacted by low vision exploring resources, and that's an acronym. So for short, we call it Silver. And we have had this initiative going on for over a year, but because of COVID, we've had some issues with implementation. We are happy to announce that we are able to get into the senior center now. They have opened back up for meetings and people to come in, and also some of the assisted living facilities. Our emphasis here is to help people, primarily seniors, that have some form of vision impairment that might not otherwise reach out to us, to kind of meet them where they're at, whether they're gathering at the senior center or they're living in an assisted living facility, or even for those that do come here. We're going to focus a portion of our 2 primary programs, peer support and assistive technology and training, focused on seniors and the challenges that they face with low vision or blindness, and address those needs. So our Silver initiative, Sam has been getting out and working with some of the seniors at some of the assisted living facilities, doing presentations, taking technology to them. He has done a couple at the Lexington Senior Center, and will be offering monthly presentations at the senior center for the rest of this fiscal year. So March, April, May, and June, he will be offering specific topics, presentations on specific topics at the senior center. So if you're a Fayette County resident and you're 60 or older and would like to attend those there, you can do that through the senior center. If you know of anybody that might be interested but is hesitant to reach out to us here, they're welcome to stop in and see us at the senior center when we do those presentations, just kind of making it a bit more of a relaxed environment where people can drop in, learn a little bit about all the different types of technology and tips and techniques for living with low vision. We also have a health initiative, which we've had going for several years now, but coming up this year in 2022, we are looking for some grant funding to take that to the next level. And we are hoping to secure funding to potentially do some different types of activities and maybe provide some technology devices that are accessible for people with low vision to encourage movement, fitness, and health. Currently, we do typically offer things like talking blood pressure monitors, talking glucose monitors, talking body scales, and body thermometers. We're looking at maybe expanding that a little bit, and we're really hoping to provide a health fair, potentially in person, coming up in March or April, depending on how the virus is hopefully slowing down and able to do in person. But we have a team of volunteers from the UK School of Pharmacy, which is one of our partnerships, and they are working on some advocacy for Bluegrass Council of the Blind in the area of talking prescription labels and trying to get all of the pharmacies in Lexington and across the state on board with providing some type of accessible labeling for their prescriptions. They would like to help us do a health fair. So more to come on that in the near future. I have a meeting with them on Friday to discuss the options and plans and what things might be able to be included in that health fair that are specific to people with vision impairments. We also have our Tai Chi classes. That's something that's fairly new and not everybody is familiar with, but we had a guest speaker from A Caring Place last year that talked about A Caring Place, which is another nonprofit that serves people that face the challenges of isolation and loneliness. And they offer Zoom meetings for Tai Chi, virtual Tai Chi classes. People can listen and follow along to do the Tai Chi movements, which is a great way of increasing your movement. And it can be done seated from a chair. So you don't have to be a high fitness level for those. But it's Tai Chi. We usually go for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then she has a guided meditation following that. Those are done on Thursdays twice a month. And again, that the dates and the access information comes out in the newsletter, or you can call our office to sign up for those. And we'd like to encourage more people to join us. We've had 5 or 6 people join those regularly, and we'd like to increase that. But what's unique about it is that we have specific classes for people who are visually impaired, where the instructor gives basically an audio description of the movements that she's doing. For other people who are sighted, they can watch and follow the movement. But for people that can't see what she's doing, she's giving specific audio descriptions of the movements and helping people learn how to do them. And once you're comfortable with the different movements, then you can join the regular classes from A Caring Place or anywhere else that you'd like that does Tai Chi, because the names of the movements are all universal across the board. And our instructor, Rachel Eldridge, does a wonderful job of describing those and helping people with vision impairments be able to participate in many other forms of Tai Chi classes once you learn those movements.
Orientation and mobility plan interact program. II workshops across KWA. II activities over using the fortune and experiencing may not otherwise. II bring presentations to people at the sea and other places where lonely grants and seniors and maybe more quality of life. 2 walking along low cost devices and participation. 3 baptize in the value. II 1 working with UK 2 Alliance Health 3.
Okay, I think that covers. Community outings. Some of our new ideas for community outings this year. Besides the Tai Chi being virtual as a community outing, but we're looking at the possibility of partnering with some other agencies to provide volunteer opportunities for our clients and people that we work with. Oftentimes people that have a vision impairment feel isolated. It's very difficult to meet new people. You go out into the community and you're not able to make eye contact. You're not really sure of who's around you and getting conversations started. So one way we thought of that would help is volunteering in the community. And so we're looking at doing, scheduling some activities where we would go as a group and we would plan ahead of time. The staff from BCB would work with maybe God's Pantry, Food Bank, or one of the other churches or organizations that packs backpacks for kids for the weekend, packing food in the backpacks or food boxes for sending to other countries. there's different places like that where we could definitely help out with things like that. Even with a vision impairment, we would work with them to let them know how they could adapt that opportunity, that volunteer opportunity, to make it very accommodating for someone with a vision impairment. And that would encourage people to get out and be active in the community, give back to the community, and also give you the opportunity to meet some new people from other organizations and other volunteers that we would be working with, and make some new friendships and some new places that you can get involved in the community. So that was another new endeavor that we're going to be working on this year. So if you have any ideas of volunteer opportunities that we could participate in as a group, please don't hesitate to let myself or Susan Ament know, and we can look into that and see about scheduling a group outing to help in one of the community activities.
Yeah, I just wanted to interrupt a second again. I've gotten a message saying that the host will not allow people to unmute. So I don't know if that's an overall problem or not, and I am not the host of this. It looks like Richard is the host, so I don't know if that's something that can be fixed.
Let me look into it. Sorry. Hold on one second.
Okay. Just in case there's any questions out there, anybody who might be muted and trying to unmute themselves.
I just unmuted.
Okay, Linda.
Yeah, there was something. There was something in the settings here that was preventing it. I just unchecked it.
Okay.
Sorry, guys. They're always changing and updating Zoom, and sometimes they change things on the back end, and I don't notice them. This is one of those things that I think they may have added a new option to not allow people to unmute themselves, and I just wasn't aware of it. Sorry about that.
Okay, go ahead, Linda.
I don't know if she had a question. Somebody else might have had a question. I don't think she's just.
Any
I
other
was wondering
questions?
something. Yeah, somebody mentioned to me, I forget who it was, but I think something about door prizes. That's not this meeting.
We don't normally do lunch and learn door prizes. When we do have door prizes, they're usually at a membership meeting.
But we can,
okay,
because
well,
I think it might have been me, Marty, that said that.
Oh.
Think
okay, well, I wasn't sure. I just remember
and I'll
somebody
tell you
said
what, I do remember that conversation, because we were talking about how to do it with people on the phone and picking a number.
Yeah, that's
so
right,
that's what
yeah.
we'll do. Since I have not looked at the participant list, I will pick a number, and what we're going to give away is a BCB t-shirt. We have the new bright green, it's lime green t-shirts with blue print, and it has the logo and print that says Bluegrass Council of the Blind on the front of the t-shirt. And we have them in all sizes at the moment, from small, adult small, to adult 3X. So I will pick a number, and Richard, if you could tell me who is at that number, and then if there's more than one person, we'll pick a number from there.
Sure.
Actually,
one quick question. Do we want to go ahead and stop the recording at this point, or?
Are there any other questions regarding BCB services and what's new for the year?
Yes, Miss Theresa, this is Jerry Mattingly again. I understand about the food distribution is tomorrow, and I participated in it, and I forgot, Miss Susan told me the time that the distribution would come around, and I just wanted to make sure I'd be here. I got some errands to run earlier in the day.
It would be between 3 and 6 p.m.
3 and 6 p.m.
Yeah. 3 and 6 p.m.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll be here. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
and
no problem.
Call you when he's on his way or her way, whomever is driving. And if you would make sure you have your phone turned on and answer that, because if you don't answer the phone, they may assume you're not home and you might not get it. So please do answer your phone. Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
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 wanna
that's no problem.
stop the recording. We'll end here and then we'll do our drawing.
Hey, Theresa,
Yes.
this is Pam. Instead of calling my cell phone, have them call my landline. That way I can make sure that I can get the message. Because my
Okay.
cell phone, I get these prank calls. So my number here would be 859.
Just a second.